10 Curses and Omens Connected to Animals. Despite the advancement of society, superstitions related to animals still linger in the collective consciousness. Many people refuse to let a black cat cross their path, and some believe it is bad luck to kill a ladybug. Moreover, some claim to know of curses that are to be avoided with religious fervor or omens that allude to something dark and horrifying in the near future. From black cats to rabbit feet, superstitions surrounding animals have stood the test of time. This list will cover 10 of these curses and omens related to the animal kingdom. Number 10. The belled buzzard. When a carrion bird takes flight with a bell tied to its neck, disaster, too, finds itself on the wing. Or at least that's what the folks living in the Appalachian and Ozark Mountains in the 19th century believed. While the sight of a buzzard wearing a bell seems a bit too far-fetched to be considered a regular occurrence, it turns out that a lady in Arkansas actually tried raising turkey vultures as pets, gave up, and released them back into the wilderness after tying bells to their legs, creating a basis for the legend. But why would these belled buzzards be considered a bad omen in the first place? The noisy birds were sometimes sighted before particularly dramatic events, such as a typhoid outbreak in Tennessee in 1878 and a tornado in South Carolina in 1877. Though the released turkey vultures wouldn't necessarily last more than a few decades, after a while, the mere sound of an errant bell was enough for folks to claim that a belled buzzard was nearby. The legend spread from Arkansas to Georgia to Delaware, lasting until the middle of the 20th century. Number 9. Peacock feathers and the theater. When it comes to theater superstitions, many know that saying, "break a leg," is much better luck than good luck. But few are aware of the superstition that pavo cristatus, the peacock, can ruin a performance. Reportedly, it is said to be bad luck to give a performer a peacock's feather before a show. The superstition seems to originate from the association of peacock feathers to the evil eye, a superstition from the western part of the Mediterranean. As well, they were also seen as tools for mystic seers, allowing them to spy on anyone who accepted the avian gift. Perhaps these superstitions have been distilled over time to only focus on the ruining of a play. Number 8. The eye, harbinger of death. The eye, endemic to Madagascar, is a peculiar primate with large eyes, long fingers, and a stigma of death. This repute originates from its lack of fear around humans, allegedly approaching them and, in some cases, even supposedly delivering curses. People in Madagascar have taken this one step further, believing the animal has the ability to stab hearts in slumber. This unfounded superstition has led to the animal's mass hunting, adding to the endangerment caused by deforestation and ecological destruction. Number 7. The killing of an albatross. Sailors are well known for the large number of superstitions involved with their profession. One of the most prominent is the curse of killing an albatross, as depicted in the famous 1798 poem, The Rime of an Ancient Mariner. The albatross is revered for its ability to fly long distances without needing to flap its wings, leading to a belief in its supernatural qualities. Should a sailor kill an albatross, they can be subject to a curse, unless they choose to wear the albatross around their neck, as an act of atonement. This superstition has been part of naval life for centuries, and is a reminder of the power of nature over man. Number 6. Kudoku, the curse poison. This next curse comes with a recipe that one can attempt to make at home, although it involves an alarming amount of bugs. Called Gu in China and Kudoku in Japan, this curse is actually a form of poison. It was used by sorceresses, also referred to as Gu or Kudoku, to poison the men they seduced, the only antidote coming from the man's lover if she still had feelings for him. Crafting a kudoku is an extremely challenging task as it requires one to fill a jar with all sorts of poisonous creatures, including snakes, centipedes, spiders and scorpions, and wait until only one of them remains, as it is said to be the one with the most potent poison. This practice has been recorded in Asian history since AD 610. Number 5. Owls, portent of witches. In Eastern Africa, countries from Zimbabwe to South Africa have given owls an ominous reputation, with some superstitions claiming that when an owl lands on an elderly person's roof, death is imminent. Some even say the bird is a messenger for witches or the medium of a witch's curse. As a result, owls are often killed on sight or poisoned if a nest is discovered. Ecological movements have been established, however, to change the public's perception of owls, as they are keystone predators, and to prevent them from becoming endangered. 5 species of owls still live in the region, and public acceptance of them is growing. Number 4. The knocking of the deathwatch beetle. Zestobium rafavelosum, the Latin name for a type of beetle, has an unusual mating ritual. It knocks its head against the wood surrounding its borehole in order to attract a mate. This creates a loud noise that can be heard by humans and, due to a tradition of death watching, was taken as a sign of impending death. It is for this reason that this European beetle is commonly referred to as the deathwatch beetle. The practice of death watching refers to the time in which a person's family would stand vigil until the time of their death in the absence of hospitals. It was the noise of the beetle that caused people to think death was near, thereby giving it its name. Number 3. Witchcraft and black cats. The notion that seeing a black cat is unlucky can be seen as quite mundane today. But the cause behind this superstition is far more dramatic. It all began with the Greek goddess of witchcraft, Hecate, who was believed to keep a black cat as her companion. In 1233, Pope Gregory IX worsened the situation by claiming that black cats were familiars of Satan. During the Middle Ages, many unfair and violent witch hunts occurred, causing black cats to be observed with suspicion as they were believed to be linked to witchcraft. Thus, a sighting of a black cat was considered a warning that a witch was living nearby. This false association between black cats and witchcraft persisted until the 19th century and even spread to America. Number 2. Ravens in the Tower of London. Many English people believe that the Kingdom of England would be doomed if the ravens were not kept in the Tower of London. The myth is still very much alive today, although it is not known exactly how it started. It is thought to have originated in the mid-17th century when King Charles II was told by an anonymous fortune-teller that the ravens nestling in the Royal Observatory should stay there if the kingdom was to remain safe. For the following 4 centuries, 6 ravens were kept in the tower. The role of looking after the birds was initially given to the yeoman quartermaster, although this changed after World War II and it eventually became known as the Raven Master in 1968, and this is still the title today. The Raven Master also ensures that the raven's wings are clipped, which prevents them from flying and has been criticized as a case of superstition overriding the bird's freedom. Number 1. The Curse of the Billy Goat. The infamous Curse of the Billy Goat has been a part of Chicago folklore since 1945, when William Cianis, a tavern owner, was denied entry to a Cubs game with his pet goat, Murphy. The Cubs had enjoyed great success in the preceding decades, with a dozen NL pennants and a few World Series titles, so Cianis was eager to show his beloved pet his hometown team. His hopes were dashed, however, when they were barred from the stadium, and in retaliation Cianis uttered a curse: "The Cubs? They ain't gonna win no more." Despite attempts to lift the curse, such as the use of holy water and allowing goats at games, the Cubs would not win a World Series until 2016.